Hey, welcome to our notes on the unit circle. And on the left, you're looking at a completed filled in unit circle with the angles measured in degrees, in radians, and then the coordinate for each one of those angles, as well as the quadrants in which the 6 different trig functions are positive and negative. So our goal is, by the end of this lesson, to be able to fill in a blank template of the unit circle without looking at any notes. We want to try to have really good and quick recall of the information on the unit circle because this information is the foundation of the problems that we're going to be doing in trigonometry the rest of this year, as well as in calculus. It's sort of like learning your addition and multiplication facts when you're in elementary school. The better you know them, the faster your recall, the easier it is to solve problems as math gets a little bit more complex. That's what the unit circle is to us in trigonometry and calculus. It's the basic facts that we need to know and have really quick recall on in order to move forward with more complicated problems. So we're going to learn this circle in layers because that's the easiest way to see how things are derived and how they relate together. And then we'll start practicing strategies to help you memorize it. So on the front of your notes booklet, we're going to just recall that the unit circle is just a circle that's centered at the origin of the coordinate plane. So this point is located at 0, 0. And the radius of a unit circle is 1 unit. So the point where the x-axis intersects with the circle on the right is 1, 0. That's the radius of 1, starting at the origin and heading to the right. If I start at the origin, the center of my circle, and I head to the left, that's a -1 in the x direction. If I start at the origin and I go up 1 unit, the length of the radius, now my x is 0, but my y is 1. And if I start at the origin and I go down 1 unit, the length of the radius, that makes this point 0, -1. And those 4 points represent my quadrantal angles. If I measure those angles in degrees, I'm starting at 0. A quarter of the circle is 90 degrees. That's a right angle. Half of the circle is a straight angle, which is 180 degrees. So that's 1 times 90, 2 times 90. That makes 3/4 of the circle 270 degrees. 3 times 90 is 270. And then 1 full rotation around the circle brings us back to 360 degrees, which is coterminal with 0. Okay, now we're going to wrap around the circle in radians. So starting at 0 radians, 1 full rotation around the circle would be 2 pi radians. So half of that circle is pi radians, and half of that is pi over 2 radians. So 90 degrees is equivalent to pi over 2. That's 1/4 of the circle. So this is 1 pi over 2, 2 pi over 2, which is pi, then 3 pi over 2, and then 4 pi over 2, which is 2 pi. So this would be all of the information for the quadrantal angles, which occur when our circle is cut into 4 congruent pieces. So on that unit circle template, go ahead and pause the video and see if you can fill in the radians, the degrees, and the coordinates for your 4 quadrantal angles from memory. Okay, so let's start with the degrees. 1 full rotation around the circle is going to be 360 degrees. Right? Half of that is 180 degrees. Half of that is 90 degrees. So 1/4 of the circle is 90 degrees. That's our right angle. So this would be 1 times 90, 2 times 90, which is 180, 3 times 90, or 270 degrees, and then 4 times 90, which is 360 degrees. That's 1 full revolution. Okay, next we're going to find the radian measures going around. So starting at 0, 1 full rotation is 2 pi radians. So half of that would be pi radians. Half of that would be pi over 2 radians. And so this is 1 pi over 2, 2 pi over 2, which is pi, 3 pi over 2, and then 4 pi over 2, which gets us back to 2 pi. Okay, then we're going to do the coordinates. And remember, the circle is centered at the origin, and it has a radius of 1 unit. That's the definition of a unit circle. So if I'm 1 unit to the right of the origin, I'm at the point 1, 0. If I'm 1 unit above the origin, I'm at the point 0, 1. 1 unit to the left of the origin is going to be -1, 0, and 1 unit down from the origin is 0, -1.